Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We have been dealing with some crazy rainy weather lately. It's been kind of halting progress on a lot of stuff, but I have a major fencing update to show you. And also, if you stick around, we're going to have a special guest on the video a little bit later that y'all been waiting to hear from. So really big update there. So stick around. Kimberly is going to be joining us to give an update of where things are going, and we're kind of let you know what we've been dealing with and where things go from here. But first, I want to show you what I've got done so far on the fence. Okay, so here is what we've got so far on the fence. I know I did not video this, but the main reason is because, well, fencing videos don't always do that great, and it takes a lot longer to video as you work, especially when it's just you by yourself. So what we did is I went ahead and got all the T-post in. I've got the wire stretched up here, and I've got one strand of barbed wire laid out along the ground. I haven't got that finished yet. I ran out of time, but let me show you what I've got on this other end. Okay, so here's where the old section is. I've still got to trim up these wires on the end where the gate's going to go right here. And I got to trim up all those wires too. I haven't done all that yet. But this is the way the fence is actually going to be. We're going to have the 4-foot goat and sheep wire there. I've got one strand of barbed wire right along the bottom, which this one splits a square, which is going to keep them from trying to push under it. But I think on the next one, I'm going to go up here because that was a pain to put those clips on. Do half a square. And then I've got one strand right up here at the top to try to keep them from reaching over, pushing down on that. It's nice and tight. Got all that. Up by the road, the utility companies finally came and marked where everything is. Nothing's going to be in the way of our fence. So we should be able to do that. And I'm going to do like a wood railing and stuff. We'll kind of show how that's going to be a little bit later. But fence is going well. I've got 3 strands to put a barbed wire to put up on the highway. Put the gate in here and close this section off here. And we should be good to go to get some animals out here. Show you a little bit about the garden. The green beans are down here. They're looking really good. They were looking really good down there, but we got a bunch of rain. There's actually water staying in these 2 ditches on the outside, and that kind of slowed things down tremendously. This row here was supposed to be squash and zucchini, but it doesn't look like much of anything came up. And these are some peas or something that are from last year where we didn't harvest some of them, I guess, and whenever I tilled it up, it worked them in. But yeah, we're dealing with that. Some footprints out here, but I'm not sure who those are because I don't think I've been out here. Maybe I have. I don't remember. But the sweet potato vines, all the slips we put in, they're doing really well. Eggplant's doing well. Tomatoes are growing up over there. I've got to tie them up a little bit better. They've still got a ways to go. But the other thing is our potatoes. Oh, oops, sorry, squirrel. Not really. But the pepper plants are starting to bloom, so hopefully we'll get some pepper soon. We got a few little tomatoes over there. But like I said, I've got to get these tied up because, well, with the rain and everything, it just hasn't happened. I got part of them done a little bit, but they weren't quite ready, but now they've all fallen over. So now this is what I wanted to show you. Look over here. We've already harvested a few potatoes, but they have all died back, and part of it, I don't know if they were just ready or part of it was the rain, but I have noticed with all the rain, we do have some up here at the top where, since I didn't get to pull the dirt up on them like I wanted to, they're actually showing on the top, and that's not good. So we're going to have to get down here and get these harvested so we don't end up losing them. And plus, as wet as it's been, I'm afraid that they're going to end up rotting. So that's something that we're going to get done. And then we've got a special project going on over here. The plastic did so well in this area, I decided to put out another area to kind of expand things, but you got to stick around a little bit longer to find out what exactly is going in there, because we've got a lot of stuff that's been going on. We just, like I said, with the weather, I've gone back to work. We've just not had time to share like we've been wanting to share, and sometimes when you got a farm, you just got to get the farm work done, and that's where we've been here lately. Hopefully that will be changing soon. But all the animals and everything are doing really well, and we may be taking some to the auction this coming up weekend. Just have to see how that goes too. Like I said, work's been crazy, or it's been crazy getting adjusted going back to work after being off for so long and then keeping things going around here. But we're fixing to head back up to the house and get Kimberly and give y'all a little update and let y'all know what's going on over there, because so many of y'all have been asking, and so we're super thrilled to be able to share how things are going. Well, as promised, here she is. And now she's going to let you know how things have been going, because they've not been going probably quite as well as what we just kind of let on.
Yeah, so in my head, after talking to the doctor and everything, I had this mental picture, idea that I was going to feel a lot better a lot quicker than like if they did a decompression and all that good stuff. Because they said, this one's usually pretty easy. So that was my impression. That has not been the case. Hardware, if you've had a knee replacement, hip replacement, anything like that, everybody knows that, there's a pretty good recovery stage for that. And I guess it's no different if you have metal in the back of your head, which, like I said, I had glorified images of what it was supposed to be. And so these past few weeks have been pretty rotten, actually. I'm now at the 6-week mark, which is, last time after the decompression, I was going back to work and everything. But I have had trouble with, just being upright and not having my head supported. I'm trying to do, more of that throughout the day just for shorter bouts. But if I'm on my feet too long or sitting up longer than, my body feels like I should, the headaches are ridiculous. I'm having a lot of nerve pain back here and a lot of sensitivity, which, I kind of expected that some, because that was one of the, potential things to go with it. And we'd already discussed that amongst ourselves and realized, that's okay. We'll figure it out. But I didn't expect for it to last this long. I've only gone to church once since we've been back home, and that was 2 weeks ago. He told you, how it was a rough day. I slept after doing that. And then I haven't gone since because I don't know. Last Sunday I was scared to go, because after having that one bout, I was like, I'm afraid that I'm going to, have that issue again. And then today, for whatever reason, I had another setback and sharp pains in the back of my head. And I'm on, medication for that, but it doesn't always, at least, fully fix it. So I decided I'd go ahead and call the doctor's office, right at my month mark. And I was like, hey, I know we're supposed to do a phone check-in. I don't really know how this works, if they're supposed to call me, if I'm supposed to call you guys, or what. So I left a message, and I got a call back from the PA, I guess the next day. Mm-hmm. And she stayed on the phone with me for 30 minutes, asking about symptoms, asking about tolerance, all that good stuff. And she was like, have you had any improvements? And I was like, not a single one. I was like, my hand is still numb. Actually, my hand's probably a little more numb than it was before, which there can be a lot of factors for that. And I was like, my headaches are still there. I said, I still have some dizziness. I don't exactly know how much, because I still couldn't, bend over or anything like that. It's still under some restrictions. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I was expecting you to have some sort of improvement, even just a little bit. She's like, usually at this point, she said, we're starting to see something, or it fading, it should be getting better, not just kind of staying the same. So she was like, let me talk to the doctor and see what he wants to do. She's like, because I really feel like we're going to probably need to get a neurologist and physical therapy involved. She's like, that's what I'm saying. Probably is what he's going to say too. But let me just talk to him and let me see. And she asked me if I knew of any good neurologists around here. And I was like, well, she's like, I know you've been through 7 or 8. I was like, yeah. But one of the last ones that I saw, the only reason I stopped seeing her was just because it was just medication management. We didn't have the diagnosis, but there wasn't really much else she could do at that point. But I liked her, and she actually specializes in headaches and all that. So she actually stayed on the phone with me looking up neurologist, and I told her name, and she did some research, and she's like, she sounds like a good one. She's like, let's shoot for that.
Because what we were trying to do initially is find a neurologist here in Arkansas who had received their medical credentials or training from Johns Hopkins.
Yes.
And the only one we could find was a pediatric one that is actually at a children's hospital.
Yeah.
Because initially when it's pediatric, she's like, well, sometimes on special cases they will still see you. And then whenever we found out that it was at the children's hospital, she's like, probably not going to happen. So that's when it was time to venture out a little farther.
Yeah, and most neurologists, at least around here, I know they set up there too, it's a pretty long wait. But most of them around here are booked out at least 6 months for new patients. And I was like, well, maybe me having been a past patient of hers, maybe I can, just schedule a visit and not have to worry about, the new patient stuff. I was like, but it's been like 6 years. So, we'll see. So I called and they were like, yeah, we need a new referral. And I was like, okay, well, we'll work on that. So I called my PCP initially and left them a message. He was out of the office, but I was like, hey, this is who I want to see. And, if y'all would forward my medical records from them and I'll send in what I have, then maybe we can get it going. In the meantime, I heard back from the PA. She talked to the doctor and he said, yes, PT, yes, neurologist. And then also discussed the next appointment for the 3-month visit, which they said I didn't have to be there in person. We could do it via telehealth. The only thing is we can't be in the state of Arkansas for that. The closest place is actually Florida.
Yeah.
So we're going to be traveling to Florida, but it'll be cheaper and easier for us to go to Florida than for us to fly all the way back up to Baltimore to see him and then fly back home, because it's a pretty quick visit. All that they needed was some MRIs. She put in an order for those in my chart, and I had to call my PCP again, get them to, rewrite those the same way we did before. But I was confident with that. That wasn't a big deal.
Plus the thing with Baltimore, if we went back up there, 'cause she said the most that he would do different would, like, he might fill the back of it, but we know it's tender, so she said there's really no point in that. And then with Baltimore, it's a 17.5-hour drive, so we would most likely, if we were going to go that, would have to fly. And so that's why going to Florida is cheaper, because we'll just drive it. It's 8 hours to 8 to 8.5, depending on where exactly we get into Florida at, but the driving will make it a lot cheaper.
Yes. She went ahead and wrote the orders for the neurologist too, and she put those in my chart. She was like, I'm going to, ask our office person to fax this, because I got the fax number for her. But she's like, they're in my chart too if you want to send stuff or, do whatever. And then she also wrote the therapy orders, which a lot of y'all know that I'm a physical therapist assistant. So the place that I work, they actually have really great therapists. So I was able to call, get that scheduled, and just email my referral and everything. Neurology, actually, at first they had told me it could be September. And then I got a call back and she said, July. We have an appointment for mid-July. And I was like, perfect. That's much, much better than September. It's still not soon, but it's sooner, and I can live with that. PT, though, I actually already have gotten started. One visit in, and which we didn't do much. Mainly working on just trying to loosen tight muscles right now to see if that will help relieve some pain and work on desensitizing the scar area and back of the head, as much as we can do. Not even really doing any exercise until we get everything calmed down, because she's like, your muscles are so angry right now. And I was like, yeah, I know. I did have a pretty good headache that night and the next day. About migraine level the next day. Don't know 100% if that's from therapy or just a random coincidence, because that happens as well. It'll be completely random when they hit at times. So I'm not saying that, that's what caused it, but I'm definitely going to let her know whenever I go back. And also, of course, the PA told me to stay off work. She's like, you're not in any shape, form, fashion ready to go back. So she said it's reasonable for you to stay off for a while. That's what we're working on now. And just trying to gradually, be up a little bit more and, out of my chair and moving, which that drives me insane having to sit down very much anyway. But
you're pretty good at it. Yeah, no, anytime she has tried to get up and do stuff, she ends up doing too much, which is really not all that much.
No.
And then she's worse off. So I'd rather her just take it easy and feel as good as she can, and we will get by with everything else than trying to overdo it and setting herself back.
Yeah. And one of the most frustrating things right now, I can't even pull my hair up, which sounds silly. It's a little thing, but it's summer, or almost summer, and it's hot, and I usually pull my hair up. Y'all have seen last surgery I had, I wore it on top of my head in a bun, and that was the most comfortable thing. I can't even come close to doing that. It's just, my whole scalp is so tender right now.
I've offered to take her to my hair person, but she was a no.
Yeah, I did tell him, I was like, I am so tempted to go get it chopped short.
Which I tried to get her to do that before the surgery.
Actually, you're not the only person that suggested it either.
She didn't want to, because last time it wasn't that big of an issue, and plus then it covers up all the scar and mess back there. But
yeah,
hindsight is 20/20.
Exactly. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that anybody, if they're even thinking that it might be a good idea, to go ahead and do it, because now I feel like if somebody were to start trying to cut my hair, I would probably just I don't know, I wouldn't be able to handle it, because any pressure, like I said, any pressure or pulling or anything on my hair just sends me over the edge. And I have to, I wash my hair every night, and I have to dry it right after I wash it. Used to, I would let it air dry, or sit in my chair for a while or something, but not now, because if I try to let it air dry, then it's just so heavy. Like I said, should have gotten it cut off. But it's okay. So hanging in there right now, just not well, I guess.
Yeah. And even though it's not the result that we were looking for, based on the imaging of the before and after, something seriously needed to be done.
Yeah.
And the imaging actually was bad enough. As much as you could see the difference in that, it would be logical that, that could be the issue. But
yes,
evidently she just got more going on.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the PA kept saying too, is she's like, I don't think that all this, she said, obviously not all of these were just, this issue. She said not all of it was just the fact that your, CSF was just, sitting there. She's like, sounds like we've got some other issues going on. And she's like, so that's where the neurologist is going to come in to diagnose, treat, any of those other issues, so that now that we've at least taken care of one problem, maybe, they can help me fix the others, or at least manage them.
Yeah, and plus it's just good to have somebody with that sort of specialty that's not 17 hours away.
Yeah. Yeah, because we'd already talked, and we were going to find somebody local for that, because even if we had to drive an hour or so to get there or more, just because, it's not reasonable to, go back and forth to Baltimore for neurology checkups and that kind of thing. Yeah. When I've got somebody here local who, like I said, I liked her and I trust her. So
the main reason was because our insurance for a specialist, the visit is very expensive on the front end.
Yes.
And since she already went through and got the medications lined out, and it was just a matter of needing refills, basically Kimberly just went to our PCP with that, and he could write the same scripts since they'd already figured out the solution at that time. And then instead of having to pay that, it was a $30 copay.
Yeah. So that was the biggest thing with her before.
Because we continued to go until she got things lined out as best she could. Because she tried a bunch of different things, and then it was to the point that she understood that too, because it was just managing medications. But
and I was down to just occasional telemed visits with her, medication check-ins, and then she agreed with the plan. So we parted ways, on good terms. And they immediately accepted me back as a patient once I sent them all my updated records. So, that was a good thing.
Yeah, I got you in pretty quick too.
Yeah, which, like I said, I'm so thankful for on that. But I have to say, the girls have been the biggest help in, keeping the house clean, doing chores. If I'm, up trying to do stuff, Izzy will be like, or Abby, they'll be like, do you need to do that, or do I need to help you with that? And kind of give me that side eye. So they've been excellent little helpers.
Yeah, and then this week just got a little harder because I went back to work, and I'm probably on the worst shift we have.
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays I have to work daytime, so 6 a.m., and then on the Monday and Tuesday I have to work until midnight. So I have 2 day shifts and 2 evening shifts, and I'm glad it's not flip-flop the other way, but this first week back was rough because I had to work. It was the shift change weekend, so I had to work 2 night shifts, and then this morning I had to work a day shift. I have to work a day shift tomorrow because we had something else going on, and then back to a night shift on Tuesday, and so it's just... It's a little rough to get back adjusted to after you've been off for several weeks.
Yes.
And plus, I'd been on nights before that, so...
For a long time before that.
Yeah. I'd been on nights or evenings for 4 months?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 4 months. And so... And then I'd worked like 2 weeks of days and then immediately was off for however long. So this has been quite the adjustment.
Yeah. But we're getting by, and which him being off some evenings helps, like with meal planning, prep, all that good stuff. And I'm able to do a few little things, not to the degree I used to cook or anything like that. And I still need help or a lot of breaks to be able to get through some of that. But like I said, the girls have been extremely helpful with that. Abby wanted to make cookies earlier, so I helped her in the kitchen with those, but because she loves to cook. So she was doing all the measuring and shaping and all that good stuff, and they turned out good. It's crazy how much they have been doing and how good they have gotten at everything.
And they've also picked up on extra chores outside because the chickens have always been their thing, but they've helped with some of the big animals whenever I've been gone. They've been helping me with fencing. They've been helping in the garden.
Yeah.
Because before I'd pick the green beans and then they would snap them, and then the other day they got out there and they picked them and snapped them. So they have really picked up on it. And then one day Izzy was out there and she picked like squash and cucumber, and she just went out there, saw it needed done, and just did it. I didn't. She's like, I came in, I don't remember where I was, but someone came in, she goes, I got a surprise for you. I was like, a good surprise or a bad surprise? She's like, no, a good one. And she had all the stuff laid out that she had picked, and she did a really good job. So
yeah, she was
super thankful for that. And like I showed you, the potatoes, we're fixing to have to start pulling those up because where they laid over, since I wasn't able to pull up the dirt, some of them are starting to rise up to the top with all the rain, and they're going to end up ruining.
For sure.
We will get all those pulled up and put away, and hopefully that'll be a big harvest. But I just want to get out before the rain.
Yeah, and right now, with all of the fresh stuff from the garden, we have majorly saved on like our grocery bill. Because at the beginning, like right after we came home, he bought, he got a Walmart order and did a bunch of, canned vegetables and all that. We still have most of those because, we ate on them for a little bit, but then after that, the garden started producing.
Yeah,
And
we've had squash, zucchini, cucumbers out of it. We had green beans and potatoes.
yeah, and so it's been a major, money saver right there. Just having all that, and it tastes so much better too.
Yes.
I mean, I just would rather have that anyway.
So yeah, still been a lot of stuff going on, but like I said, as for having time to film and get everything, it's just that's why we've been kind of sporadic on videos, is because it is hard to keep up with everything and still get that done too. So hopefully we'll get things lined out soon as she continues to get better. Maybe she can come out and be a part. And many of y'all have been asking, wanting to see her, but she has just not felt up to it. Because like I said, there's a couple days we talked about, we need to try, and it was just she just couldn't. So
Yeah.
But many of y'all asked how she's been doing and stuff like that, and we told y'all she's doing okay and everything. And I mean, she has, but it's not just been as great as what we would like or anything like that. And it's been hard, and we're just trying to make it through. And like I said, we still appreciate all y'all checking and everything,
Yes.
but just try to be understanding if we don't answer right away or get back to you, that we're trying. And then if she's not in the videos, there's a reason she's not in there. It's just her getting better is more important than putting her smiling face on camera.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed too, because I get feeling cooped up inside, and I'll go walk outside, just like on the level surfaces or whatever, watching my step. I have to wear sunglasses because sunlight, really hurts my eyes right now. But outside, the heat and humidity, it gets to me a whole lot worse right now. I don't know if it's the medication that I'm on or what, but I can't stand to be outside for very long either. So that's another reason, even if I'm doing some walking or whatever, I'm not able to tolerate a whole lot
Usually
out there.
about 5 minutes, maybe 10 some days.
Yeah.
And she's just, she's done.
I pushed it one day and was out for a little bit longer than that and paid for it big time. So just having to take it in small doses.
Yep. So that's what we have going on. Like I said, a lot of unknowns still, waiting on more appointments. And then, like I said, the neurosurgeon pretty much said that unless something pops up on the MRI that they're not expecting, that there's really not anything from their standpoint that they can do further. And it would just be a matter of neurology and possibly interventional
Radiology.
Is it interventional radiology? Interventional radiology at some point if something could show up there. But it's just, like I said, still a lot of unknowns. We're just trying to find something to give her some relief, because nobody deserves to have to feel like this all the time. And like I said, at this rate, I mean, she definitely doesn't need to be working. And I mean, there's no way that she could hold out, or it's not really safe for your patients either.
No, that's the truth.
Yeah. So we're just taking it one day at a time.
Yes.
We appreciate all your comments and prayers, and just keep them coming. And as things go, hopefully eventually she'll get better.
Yeah.
But I think that's what we're going to call it for tonight. Hopefully we'll have something for you a little sooner than what this one got out. But we appreciate you, and we'll catch you next time on Grounds Family Farm. Bye.
Bye, guys.